Hey guys, Sean here with SE Shirts and Hoodies, and today I'll be going over all the maintenance that is required when you own a DTG, specifically an Omni 330TX Plus, because I don't own an Epson, I don't own a Brother. I'm going to go over the weekly, the monthly, the startup and shutdown, just basically because I feel like the startup and shutdown is a part of the maintenance. So we're going to get into it, and let's go. All right, so I've been waiting a couple days, not printing, trying not to print because I wanted to show you guys this. After a couple days of sitting, your ink will start to separate in the lines, which you can see right here. And what you want to do is you want to prime your printer to get fresh ink through there. So what you're going to want to do is hit the circulation button. Makes a little bit of noise. You can see the ink lines right there too, where the ink separates, and that's how they should look. So I'm gonna let it circulate for a little bit, and then we're gonna prime it. First thing that you want to do is just unclip your white lines. I just unclip them. And wherever it was clipped, I just kind of like pinch the lines to massage the lines a little bit, just so that the ink flows a little bit better. Sorry about the lighting. Try not to. And then what I'll do is I'll hit power and down at the same time, and it'll activate the circulation pump to start circulating the ink. So the first time on my printer, the first time I do it, it just makes that noise. It doesn't really circulate. I have to deactivate it, and it'll do its thing. Pump out all the extra cleaning head cleaner that it had in the wiper. And it's ready to go. So I'll do it again. Some people I've talked to with the 330TX Plus, they say they only have to do it once, but I've always had to do it twice. I don't know why. And you'll hear it. It'll start pumping all the... You'll actually see the lines starting to get really, really white. They're no longer foggy. And after that runs a little bit, you'll see it start dripping in your waste ink. Usually I don't let it run that long. I was just trying to do this video. And I'll open these other color lines, CMYK, just move them, and I'll massage it a little bit. You can see in the, if it'll focus, you'll see that color start changing. That means that the color ink, or the CMYK, is flowing. So I'll just push down. It'll do its thing again. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And you'll see it pretty much got all that ink on there. And that's one thing that you're gonna have to clean. So we'll go over that in just a second. So it's ready to power up. Once you hear those beeps, hold down power a couple seconds and it'll start up. We'll wait for it to power on and then we'll go through our head cleans and go about the rest of the maintenance. All right, so after you do your priming, you always have to do 2 head cleanings, which is this feeding button. And it'll go through its head cleaning 1 time. We'll see how long it takes. I know this video is going to kind of be boring, but it's just to basically get out all your maintenance. So if you're on the fence or people are telling you it takes 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, I would say it takes about 10 minutes in total, from the cleaning to the priming to all the wiping stuff down and trying to get extra ink off that splash. And you know, it's not that big of a deal, but I think it's important in case somebody's out there that wants to buy a DTG, or maybe they just need a refreshment of exactly what needs to happen when you own one. So it takes a few seconds. It'll go through its head cleaning. So you'll see your power light blinking. That means it's not done. The print head still has to go to the ink waste over there and spray out some ink. I don't know if I can get it on camera. It's basically spraying ink out of the nozzles in that little silver box. So once your ink or your power light turns solid, it's ready for another head cleaning. And it'll go through another head cleaning. We'll do a nozzle check and then we'll start printing. So I'll let it do that so I'm not just fishing guys along, and we'll get right back to it. So while it's still doing its head cleaning, usually what I'll do is I'll go into my Epson shortcut, go to printing preferences, and it'll pop up this screen right here. Maintenance, nozzle check. So after it gets done with everything, I'll print a nozzle check, make sure that all the nozzles are good, and then it's pretty much ready to print after that. So it's pretty much done. I don't really ever use the automatic height adjustment. Oh, maybe it's not done. Thought it was. It's definitely done now. So whenever I go to print something, has an error light, probably paper jam or something, but usually you could clear it by just going to the front, hit feeding, cleared it. So there it goes. Sometimes if you jump the gun on something, like how I pushed front and it wasn't ready to go front because it was still doing the head cleaning, you'll get an error code, which is, it's not on Omni's part, it's on my part. Little stuff that you go through that you need to be more conscious of when you own one of these. So I'll just go back and I'll do the manual height adjustment. I'll hit standby for the gantry to go to the front. Then I'll come to my desktop. I'll hit print and it'll print a nozzle check. And it's kind of hard to see, but all those little white lines, you can see it right there. You see how this one's missing a few? I'll do another head cleaning. I don't know why I've been having a little bit of problems with that nozzle, but the rest of them, as long as they're like, if it's missing one, it's pretty much good, but that one's 100%. All the CMYK are 100%. The yellow is super hard to see, so I'll just do another head cleaning. I don't know what's been going on. I've been kind of missing some nozzles on this first one. As you can see, it's kind of been a consistent problem. I'm not sure why, but yeah, so we'll do another head clean, do another nozzle check, and then hopefully we're ready to go. All right, so I'm finally done printing. You can see it's dark outside. First thing that you do when you're going to shut down is you want to clip all your ink lines. I kind of move them from the previous spot that they were in, so I'm not pinching the ink lines on the previous spot every time. So I'll just move them to random places. Sometimes I go up, down, whatever just kind of feels good to me. As you can see, they're all clipped. So next thing that I'll do is I'll just push function up. That'll move the print head. And you can see you have to clean all around those edges. You can't clean inside. The cleaner will actually clean inside. This is the wiper. I think earlier I called the wet cap system the wiper. You got to clean all that. So I'm going to try to do this holding one hand. When you're going to clean it initially, all you really have to do is just unclip this ink line and hit this a few times. And it'll start filling up the wet cast system. And you want to fill it up almost to where it's going to spill out. Clip your ink line or your solution line and use this plunger, and it'll suck it all out. Once you hear that sound, it's ready to go again. So they say to do this like 3 times. I do it like 5 times, to be honest with you. You see how cloudy and dark the ink is? I make sure and get it all the way out. So you'll hear the sound. Alright, so that was twice. You can see it's starting to clean a little bit better. You can see the sponges are actually starting to go back to their regular color. So that's 3. And like I say, I do it like 4 or 5 times. I want to make sure it's super clean. I don't really try to leave ink in there. So I'll put some in there and I'll just take this cotton swab and clean all these edges off. It's alright if it kind of spills over. I'm just trying to... It's kind of hard to do this with the camera, but... See how I clean off all those edges real good? You don't want to clean ever inside here, so... And I feel like the more you keep your printer maintained, the longer it's going to last. So I think that's why I do above and beyond. So I'm going to get this cleaned. It takes a couple minutes. And then we'll clean the wiper. I'll show you guys how to do that. Alright, so I've already cleaned it a few times. You can see the edges are nice. They aren't all gunky with ink. I'll fill it up one last time. See how clear it is? I'll fill it up almost to the edge and it's pretty much ready to go. Before we put the print head back, this wiper, see how it's all filled with ink? That has to get cleaned too. So all I really do is just take one of these Q-tips and dip it in the solution. It's going to be kind of hard to do with one hand, but just so you get the idea, basically you just rub it. And And you can see it's starting to already clean off. So I'm gonna get it real clean and show you what it looks like after it's clean, and we'll come right back. Alright, so it takes about a minute to do it, but you can see it's pretty clean. I missed a few spots. Just trying to hurry and get this video out. You can see there's like ink right here. So usually once a week I'll come through and try to clean all this, but it seems like it stains it. It looks a lot worse on camera. To be honest, when I'm looking at it with my eye, it doesn't really look that bad. But yeah, you pretty much want to get this whole thing clean, keep it clean. I'm try to see if I could actually get it a lot cleaner now that I could see all these spots. And on your weekly maintenance, we'll go to your weekly maintenance real quick. What you want to do is this encoder strip right here, this little line. All you do is just take a microfiber rag with some alcohol and you rub it. And you just clean it back and forth. And all that does, you don't want to like pinch it off or break it or anything like that. It's really thin plastic. So all that does is just get ink or dust off of it so that you don't have any banding issues. Another thing that you want to do is, I'll see if I could get it in the camera. Your print head. So your print head, you want to clean all this. I do this every time after I get done printing. So this part right here, you pretty much want to clean. You don't ever want to clean the print head itself, but this silver part you always want to clean. See how it gets like lint and ink on it? You always want to clean that. So that's basically your oh, and one last thing on your weekly other weekly maintenance, you want to clean this bar right here. Clean it off real good. And they give you a little bit of grease, so I'll clean it real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Just get it nice and clean. You'll see it turns black. You could just move your print head over and get this other side. And you'll see it turns the rag pretty black. So clean that real good and re-grease it. Let me grab the grease real quick. So this is the grease that they give you. I forget how much it is, but it lasts a long time. You just want to get a little bit and literally just rub it on the top, on the bottom. Try to get it everywhere. And then you can just move your print head back. Put some more grease on your finger. And I try to get it everywhere. And then I'll just move this back and forth a couple times just to get some grease in there. And that's pretty much your weekly maintenance right there. I try to do it, it depends how much I'm running, but minimum once a week. Also I don't even know what this box is called, but it's where the nozzle sprays. I'll always clean that off every day. That's after one day. It just gets super dirty after you try to print 50 shirts. So I'm gonna try to get this cleaned up now that I see it all gunky, and we'll get on to the monthly and the yearly maintenance. All right, so I know I said that we were going to get on to the next part of the maintenance, but when you're done at the end of the day, what you want to do is redock your print head, which is just function. Always make sure your wet cap's filled up. Once that's done, you can power it off. And you want to throw away all this ink waste and rinse it out. That's pretty much it. So let me try to move this printer so I can get into the monthly maintenance so we can clean this encoder wheel and get on with the rest. Alright guys, so I know that this video has been super long. Usually when you do your maintenance, it's never this long because you're already in the mode of doing things. You've already known how you pretty much have done it a few times. So for the last step, we're going to do our monthly maintenance, which is basically, let me turn the camera around. Alright, so when you're on the other side of your printer, you're just going to take out these pins. They just pull straight out. As you can see, this one's pulled out and this one's pushed in. You just barely pull them out and this door will open. this right here is called your encoder wheel. So if you're having banding issues or the print's not coming out right, you could always try cleaning this and seeing if it clears that up. So before we do anything with this part, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to power off your printer from the back. So you just hit the power switch and turn it off. And I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, but basically what you do is you kind of pinch the clear part, and while you're pinching it with your other hand, you just grab your gantry from the center and you'll see it to start to move. And if you have the rag and you're pinching that, it's basically going to clean. As you can see, it turns, and then you can just go back, and you always want to push and pull your gantry from the middle. You don't ever want to pull it from the sides or anything like that. Always pull it from the middle. So that's basically your monthly maintenance, quick, simple, easy. I'm sorry that this video took so long, but I feel like it's a necessity because I wish there was a video out there for me when I first bought my DTG. So if you guys are new here, like, subscribe, comment. I'll get back to you guys. More videos to come. I've just been super busy. I already got them edited, so now it's just basically putting them out. So thanks again for watching. If you guys ever need anything, make sure you guys reach out to me. If you guys are looking for a pre-treat machine, I could get you guys a 10% off. In the description below, it'll be in there, so you guys save a few $100 if you guys need a pre-treat machine. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.